Hey guys, and welcome back. Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got ALEXEI POPYRIN taking on DANIIL Medvedev. It is the defending champion taking on Medvedev. We know who Medvedev is. Medvedev coming off of a loss to Corentin Moutet in his last event in Washington. Success. He has success at pretty much every hardcourt event because he's a great hardcourt player. I actually thought he was playing good tennis until that match where he was also playing good tennis, but a level lower than his first couple matches, and Moutet raised the bar really high. He was playing very well. So I'm more interested to see where Medvedev's at. This is a dangerous match for POPYRIN, who's risking to go down a lot in the rankings because obviously he has 1,000 points to defend, his biggest title of his career by far, as we know. So we'll see what happens. It's a really interesting matchup, honestly. How's it going, Dutchy? Good to see you, man. And yeah, join in. Predictions for this one. Let me know your prediction, Dutchy, and everybody else watching. Let me know your predictions. They're currently practicing serves, warming up. For predictions, I'm gonna go with. I'm so torn on this, but I'm gonna go Medvedev in 3. I have the feeling that POPYRIN is gonna raise his level from what it's been recently a little bit, because guess what? The motivation is gonna be extremely high. I'm sure he has the confidence coming back to this place where he played so well last year. I thought he was playing like a top 10 player all the way. Best match I've seen him play was against Djokovic at the Open last year, but best week I've seen him compile together was definitely in Canada. He was playing really, really well. Hope POPYRIN on my team, so he's my pick. There you go. Yeah, I think he's going to raise his level. I think it's going to be interesting. And Medvedev, it's not like he's playing 2021, level Medvedev right now. Medvedev's not at that level, so it could be interesting. Both of these guys, in my opinion, having a relatively easy first round. POPYRIN getting through a player that I barely heard of, Arsenault. Sure, he's a great player. I'm just not familiar. And then Medvedev, on the other hand, played Czech player. Don't know how to say this guy's name. Svrcina, Svrcina, however you say that. Both these guys getting through their first rounds there in straight sets. Now it is the real deal. Dangerous match for both players. Let's just see what happens. But the story of this match is clearly and definitely ALEXEI POPYRIN trying to keep his title defense here alive. And it is so crazy that he is the defending champion. And it's also pretty crazy that Sasha Zverev is the #1 seed. It's almost like we've entered an alternate reality. Welcome to Canada. 30-15 Medvedev. First serve goes long. Second serve. Alternate reality, aka Canada. Backhand Medvedev. Going to the backhand of POPYRIN down the line. Forehand Medvedev. Great shot cross court. That's a good dig out of the corner there from Medvedev, scooping that one up from the corner, from the forehand corner. Good angle on that one as he's running really the opposite direction where he hit the ball, 40-15. He's got some skills with the racket, does Medvedev. We know that. Especially from way deep behind the court. He's changed and transformed what we thought possible in this sport. There's no doubt about that. Returning from like 50 feet behind the baseline and hitting incredible passing shots from 50 feet behind the baseline. It's not something that we would have expected. Good ace from Medvedev down the tee to hold 1-0. How have you been, Dutchy? Catch me up. What's been going on with you? Happy seeing Boko winning on the women's side in the round of 16. Very, very talented 18-year-old. Had a chance to watch all of her matches that she played at qualifying of Wimbledon and obviously in person. And then also watched the match that she played Wimbledon main draw. But she was fantastic, great head on her shoulders, and she has so much potential in pretty much every area of her game. So she's quick too. So watch out for her. She's on the way up. It's going to be really interesting to see where she falls. Really talented player, and doesn't have like that many super clear weaknesses yet. So she's going to keep growing and improving, but she's exciting. Medvedev already with some negative body language towards his camp. 15 love. Unusual, and also not something you really want to see if you're rooting for Medvedev. Same old, nice. I'm lucky to still be awake after Zverev's match. I know Zverev's match, the first set was like hour and 25 minutes. And yeah, I was definitely not awake watching Zverev's match because his matches bore the ever living bleep out of me. But that's okay. I had 9 channels for Wimbledon and sleep and watch tennis. Wimbledon was lit. The first week of Wimbledon was amazing. To be there first week, it's like there was not another week of a slam this year that I would have rather been there in person. So I was happy with the way it worked out. It was chaos. Good net approach from POPYRIN, volley into the opposite corner. If you've been following POPYRIN this year, not been a whole lot to cheer about for him. When we got a chance to interview POPYRIN at the Boodles exhibition event that happened right before Wimbledon, he still seemed really positive. Just seeing him in person, he seemed really positive about where his game is at. He said he feels like he's practicing well. So we'll see if something like that, finds its way to the match court, because not the results that he would have wanted recently. And we see that again with the double fault there, 30 all. It's going to be a lot of pressure here for POPYRIN, no doubt about it. And all of these big moments, it's pretty much, size them up by 100. What's going on in, I don't know, that's maybe a bit of hyperbole, but size them up big time, because that's all the pressure that's going on in POPYRIN's head. This is not just a regular match. Title defense got to be somewhere in the back of his mind. .40-30 here for ALEXEI POPYRIN. Good serve out wide, 1-1. Let's go into Rina. In that hour and 25 minutes, I went to the store and made it back by the end of the first set tiebreaker. Yeah, I was I'd basically stopped watching when Zverev was up 4-3, and I was like, okay. I also got like a bite to eat and whatever. And then I came back, and yeah, pretty much the same thing. I was like, it was like 6-5, 15-30. And I was like, how long is the set? Hour and 8 minutes. And the set was not over yet. It was, ridiculous. Zverev, without fail, has like, he's so consistent at having long matches. And, if you want to indulge yourself, you can call long epic. He has so many long matches, back and forth battles, long rallies. So he's like the most consistent top 10 player at just having long back and forth matches. But I'm not going to lie, to me, he has like one of the, for a top player, it's surprising to me how few matches I've seen of him that I remember as an all-time kind of match, or at least as, contender for one of the best matches of the year, at least. Like there's very few matches of his that leave me with such an impression. So it's really weird, like, juxtaposition with him of he plays so many long matches, and yet, like, maybe I'm just being negative, but I think to me, his matches, he hasn't played that many that excite me. I can name a few for sure, but not as many as with, Medvedev, Tsitsipas team, or pretty much any other, player that's been in the top 10 for, over, a year or 2 years like Zverev has been. And it's partially the game style that I just don't enjoy, but let's go another watch long. How are you doing, Sam? Yeah, let's go. Medvedev at 40-15. Forehand POPYRIN. Medvedev's forehand goes out 40-30. Forehand goes to the backhand slice of POPYRIN. Forehand to Medvedev. Again to the backhand of POPYRIN. Forehand Medi. Again to the backhand POPYRIN. Very central. Both guys not doing anything crazy. Just seeing what the other guy's going to do. Backhand slice POPYRIN. He's in this rally, though. He can get to a deuce on Medvedev's service game. And he does as Medvedev misses that backhand. Both guys pushing. There's no attacking there. It's just pushing the ball. Second serve, Medi goes to the forehand. Big return from POPYRIN. It's a good deep shot from Medvedev, but a great shot from POPYRIN. I start to think, like, what if POPYRIN's just, been focused on, okay, let's peak this week in Canada? Because obviously, yes, you think about the points you have to defend, but also you think maybe this is the start of something new for POPYRIN in Canada, Never know. Once again, beating Medvedev at this point would not be a like monumental upset just because where Medvedev's level's been at recently, but it would still be a great win, no doubt. It's going to go out, back and slice from POPYRIN. Deuce. You guys doing? Thanks for joining in. Got Medvedev versus POPYRIN. Don't forget to subscribe. Quality Shot Tennis. If you are new and joining in. Serve here from Medvedev. Goes into the backhand of POPYRIN. Floats long. Advantage to Medvedev. Second serve here from Medvedev. Backhand to backhand rally, backhand slice goes to the backhand of Medvedev, who hits over it. Backhand slice now down the line from POPYRIN. Forehand slides into it. Great shot. Short from Medvedev. Ball's falling a little bit short from Medvedev. And POPYRIN able to inject some pace on some key balls and find his way pretty much defense to offense. Impressive. Not just off the forehand wing, but also off the backhand wing there. Just injecting some base and, finding a little bit more depth than Medvedev at times, and also neutralizing well and kind of resetting the point with the slices off the backhand side. Good second serve from Medi. That's the advantage. POPYRIN's my pick, okay? I'm taking Medi in 3, but let me know who you guys have. As soon as I saw this matchup, though, I'm sure same with you guys, I was like, well, that's an interesting one because so early in the tournament, Medvedev's got to be the favorite, but POPYRIN, he has so much on the line, and you never know. Like, this wouldn't be a real surprise either way, I guess, with where both these guys are at, or where Medvedev is at. Backhand cross court. That's a great shot. Good approach. Smash. Oh, blotched the overhead. Set himself up so well. Medi's net game has held him back for his whole career. So doesn't stop now. Advantage POPYRIN. Isn't trying to be John McEnroe, but certainly hasn't helped his career. Couple double faults. Horrendous game. Ending it off for Medvedev. 2 doubles and a blotched overhead to end off that game for Medvedev. And POPYRIN gets an early break in the first set. That was not a former world number 1 like ending to that game. Oh, Medi. What has happened to Medvedev, dude? That was not back in the day. That was not a Medvedev was so goated at times. 2019 Shanghai, the way he got through that tournament, and then just like the whole of 2020. I thought he was going to win the Australian Open 2021. He kind of got destroyed by Djokovic, but his level and then he won like 20 straight matches. Should have won the Australian Open for sure the next year against Rafa. He's played so well at times, but now he's kind of run out of gas pretty much since the Australian Open final last year. But I felt really the turning point was the Indian Wells final against Alcaraz last year. Indian Wells, a tournament that previously wasn't friendly to him. He got to another final, played in an awesome first set against Alcaraz, and then got blown away by Carlos in the second set. I felt like pretty much the first set of that match, that was the last we kind of saw of peak Medvedev. Maybe that's not true. Wimbledon also against Sinner, beating Sinner, semifinals there. So I guess that happened afterwards. On hard courts, though, North American hard court swing, he really didn't do much last year, which I was disappointed by. But I guess on a grass court, yeah, at Wimbledon, that was probably the last we saw peak Medvedev. On hard courts, I think Indian Wells was, but I'm hoping he comes back. I'm not counting him out, but it's just been tough being a fan of Medvedev and watching it happen this way. It's tough, bro. It's tough being a Medvedev fan out here. 2-1 POPYRIN's got a break. Forehand cross court goes to forehand of Medvedev. Forehand of POPYRIN inside out. Good winner from POPYRIN. POPYRIN showed how dangerous he can be last year. Some close matches against Novak, Wimbledon, Australia, getting a win over Rublev in Madrid, Monte Carlo, I think, last year. And then, yeah, obviously the run in Canada and then the run at the US Open beating Novak. So he showed that at his best, he can be a fantastic player, a lot of impressive winners. The way he was playing in Canada last year. We'll see if he finds some of that form again. I will say, if somebody's going to make a crazy run at a Masters, this is like the time to do it. So, because there's like nobody, Djokovic, Sinner, Alcaraz are all not playing, you know? So many guys are out. So if somebody kind of out of the normal is going to win it, and this is a good opportunity. I mean, it happened in the Sunshine Double anyway, which were, I guess, the last hard court Masters played. POPYRIN misses that forehand wide, 40-15. I say Sunshine Double at unusual champions. We'll see if Draper and Menzik are going to end up being quote unquote unusual when we look back at it, a couple of years from now. But As of right now, they were not expected, particularly Menzik. Although I've had I have my eye on Menzik pretty much above any other young player outside of Sinner and Alcaraz. Actually, not pretty much. I would say that I do have my eye on him more than any other young player outside of Sinner and Alcaraz personally. So we'll see. But that's just my personal feeling. Forehand missed. Good serving from Popyrin. 3-1. Applying some pressure on Medvedev in these rallies. Finding some good depth. Some good intimidating injection of pace. Like I said, slicing well. Finding some impressive winners. Also good net play there. And then, yeah, serving well. So definitely some errors from Medvedev that gave away that 2-1 game above anything. But Popyrin off to a good start. And good positive body language. As soon as we've saw Medvedev, he's been pretty negative, which is not what you want. Backhand, inside out, forehand, it's way out. Love 15. Popyrin's coach saying, let's go right here. I guess essentially saying one break's good, but two breaks are even better. He's not wrong. This is tough, man. Medvedev is not playing well already. Backhand down the line, forehand squash shot, forehand volley, forehand pass. I mean, getting it right to Popyrin. Medvedev is playing so unlike peak Medvedev, you know? And it's been the case for a bit, but this is, I mean, that volley, I don't know why Medvedev hit it there. Medvedev hit it right back to exactly where in the court Popyrin was. He had to pass the other way. I don't know why he would do that. And also, there's so little space to hit there. It just makes no sense at all. Also, essentially hitting it over the higher part of the net. That almost goes out from Medvedev. Popyrin thought it was. But it lands in 15-30. Hey, how are you doing, Max? Good to see you. Medvedev has made so far just 39% of first serves in. Essentially means he's made like 5 or 6 first serves in. There was another one of a first serve landing in 30 all. Big point actually here. Another first serve missed for Medvedev, just not making it easy on him. Trying to avoid going down a double break. Big return from Popyrin with the forehand. Trying to control the court with that forehand. Forehand down the line from Medvedev. Goes to the back end of Popyrin. Up high. That's going to go out. 40-30. It's almost like the 90s gen is relearning how to play tennis. Yeah, it's crazy. Medvedev barely holds there. But I mean, won 4 points in a row, to be fair. 3-2. Yeah, Tsitsipas is struggling. He's talking about retirement. Zverev hasn't won a title in I don't know how long. Medvedev is Medvedev. He's struggling so hard. He hasn't won a title since Rome. Not earlier this year, not last year, but 2 years ago, which is, you can call it a misleading stat, but it's true. Medvedev hasn't gone all the way at any tournament since Rome 2023. So everyone is struggling, except for Fritz, who had a little bit of a good time during the grass court swing, but he's not doing that great this year. Let's be honest. Not as great as we would have expected. So everyone's kind of struggling when it comes to the 90s gen. Actually, you can kind of make an argument that everybody on tour is struggling except for Sinner and Alcaraz. Basically, there are other players that are like in form or whatever in a lesser way. Like Luciano Darderi has been winning, but he's winning like 250s. But for the most part, it's like Sinner and Alcaraz are like 1 and 2, and then everybody else is like, I mean, quality wise, they're like, and consistency wise, they're like 100 spots below them. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's just funny, dude. It's funny how much they're all struggling. I mean, the stats are nuts. It's like they've won like 2 slams, and 2020 was crazy anyway. I mean, that US Open, that team won, but yeah, I mean, well, obviously let's include it. It was a real slam. Um, but I mean, it's crazy compared to even the 2000s generation now. It's like real strugglers. Lob from POPYRIN, that's going to land in. Very good shot. Surprised Medvedev didn't go for it. It seemed very clear to me that it was going to land in. I thought Medvedev at least had a chance to play at it. Solid lob, though, to be fair. It is tough moving in, and very good hands from POPYRIN. When you're moving in, it's hard to change direction, then go backwards. You always think about how hard it is to change direction on a clay court where things are so slippery and slidey, slide around. But yeah, on hard court, if you're moving real hard one direction, then you have to go another direction. That's hard, but especially if you have to move backwards. So lobs are dangerous because players have the overhead smash that unless you're Djokovic for whatever reason, you can pretty much nail that. But otherwise, that's one of the hardest things is to move backwards successfully on a really good lob after you just move forward. It's hard to pull off, but if you pull it off, that makes it real tricky. Takes skill, but it's really dangerous when it works. 40 love. I do like the versatility of the season, though. I really hope that we don't keep homogenizing, surfaces on tour because it's really interesting going from like grass courts to hard courts. Some of them slower, some of them faster, but grass courts where it's like short angles and slices are just like so much more, vital on grass. Like if you hit short, angles here, like that's really dangerous. But on grass, it's like that is a very important shot that you prioritize. So I always like the it makes it more challenging. I mean, I really think it's so important that we keep things dynamic with surfaces across the tour because it's cool just even watching it in person like grass court tennis. It's like it's so dynamic and cool, and the surface can obviously be annoying because you get these weird bounces, but then you go from that and then you go to this, which is just so different. That's what makes, when people say I love hard courts, I think honestly, in my opinion, people would not say that as much if the tour was only hard courts. Like hard courts are great because it stands out from clay and from grass and whatever else. So we need all of it, I think. Or really, I know. I mean, we need surfaces in tennis, different surfaces. I would still like them to experiment with new surfaces. Hey man, bring back blue clay. I wouldn't mind. The aesthetic was there for sure with blue clay in Madrid. Dirty love here from Medvedev. How to watch the game, tennis channel, no subscription. Yeah, tennis TV, tennis channel. Sorry, I can't help you outside of that. POPYRIN goes out with the lob. 40 love for Medvedev. $27 into this contest. POPYRIN is looking for the upset, if you could call it that. For very good return to serve from POPYRIN. Medvedev can't control the half volley. The blue clay aesthetic was wonderful. It was generational. It was absolutely generational. And that's not just nostalgia speaking. It was like I don't think I even appreciated it enough at the time, although I thought it was great. But then after, like, I've missed that ever since it happened. I was like, it made me appreciate how much I enjoyed that. The more time has passed and we haven't seen anything like that. And I know Nadal and Djokovic and other players like, this sucks. Like, the court is awful or whatever, and it's dangerous potentially. But if we can, you know, make an aesthetic like that work, like, that would be great. Obviously, the best thing about that, which is why I think a lot of people so much got drawn to that and why it's become so viral since then, is because, like, clay, it's so hard to see the ball, dude. Like, it's so often hard to see the ball. It's impossible not to see the ball when you're watching on blue clay. So I really enjoyed that part of it. We just got to experiment more. I think it's such a necessity for tennis to have that. Like, tennis has been so, I feel, has been pretty successful over the last, like, month or so. I feel like we've got people tuning in for French Open and Wimbledon. Like, I've seen a lot of, like, wow, this was my first slam final watching, or this was my first slam watching, a little bit more than usual. And I think, like, it's because of, like, the two things that I think are the most important thing for tennis to succeed off the top of my head. Number one is, like, a variety of surfaces, because we go from French Open to Wimbledon, which I always think is my favorite part of the season. It's challenging for the players, but it's fun. And we have Sinner and Alcaraz playing the French Open final, then the Wimbledon final. It's only the fourth time that's happened in Open era history, in Open era. All the other times are Federer versus Nadal, so basically it's rare. And that made people tune in. They're like, wow, we got a Sinner Alcaraz, you know, double showing. And both matches were great, by the way. French Open was another level, but Wimbledon was also a good match. That came with its entertainment and high quality. And so that brings me to my number two. Like, the number two thing that I think is a necessity for tennis is great rivalries. I think it's necessity for any sport, but especially tennis. I think the sport succeeds when we have great rivalries, period. I think whenever I'm looking at an era of tennis, it's really either broken or made by the fact that they have that they have or don't have good rivalries. I think that's what makes a great era. A great era is a great rivalry. We certainly have one now with Sinner and Alcaraz. You can argue, though, that there aren't really many great rivalries outside of that. Djokovic and Alcaraz is a good one. Sinner and Djokovic has become a little bit one-sided, but that one's still good. But there aren't that many. Nori and Fritz, for some reason. It's going to be out from POPYRIN, just 15 all. Maybe half a chance here for Medvedev to even things back out. "31 minutes into this one." Thanks, guys, for joining in, by the way. Here. Forehand, Medvedev. Very central. That's going to be a miss hit from POPYRIN. 15-30. Definitely a chance now for Medvedev to claw his way back in. Not making a whole lot of first serves, ALEXEI now. POPYRIN with first serve kicked back into Medvedev. Forehand. POPYRIN goes into the forehand of Medvedev. Back in slice. POPYRIN again to the back end of Medvedev. Back in up high. Goes out from POPYRIN. Loose game. Loose game. And that equals trouble for the Australian. POPYRIN under pressure. 2 break points for Medvedev. Can he convert? POPYRIN looking for some big serves. Try to get out of trouble. But he's not made a whole lot of first serves in this game. Great serve out wide. Medvedev way behind the baseline. Yeah, no way. Even Carlos is getting to that one. POPYRIN with a great shot, taking away time for Medvedev, seeing where he is so far back. Has the skill to kind of, just brush up on it and hit a perfect forehand inside out. Didn't panic as Medvedev actually had a pretty good return. He's got a good forehand POPYRIN in terms of being able to control the court. Good deep second serve, forehand, POPYRIN. Down the line. Oh, it's right on the line from Medvedev. POPYRIN thought it was going out. Actually, a tricky ball, though, from POPYRIN. That's in the net. POPYRIN could have sworn it was going out. You can tell by his reaction, but a couple Medvedev balls landing in that POPYRIN finds hard to believe. He thought they were going out. Can't argue with Hawkeye, though. Not that it's always right, but I don't know how you can argue with it. Four games apiece. Medvedev with the break back. This has gotten even more interesting now. It's interesting when somebody gets a break back later in the set because then things get really, you have no idea how things are going to turn next. Starting to be a war here. Both guys really wanting this first set. Both guys need it for their confidence. Both guys have not been having a great year. This is not a match between two players that have had a great year to this point. Medvedev obviously having a better year for POPYRIN. It's all relative. Medvedev made the final of, was it Halle? Believe. 15 all. But yeah, lost to Bublik in the final of Halle. It's all relative at the end of the day because Medvedev, he's been having an okay year, but for his standards, just not really. Or what used to be his standards anyway. Wild forehand from POPYRIN. Momentum switch. 30-15 for Medvedev. Definitely feel a momentum switch. Medvedev needs this break badly. Bachner wins in 2. Let's go. I'm not going to lie. I've been more tuned into the women's event than the men's tournament just because no Sinner, Alcaraz, Djokovic, etc. But the women's tournament is pretty interesting. I mean, the men's tournament's interesting too. It's just not really like, it's interesting in a different way, obviously. It's interesting in terms of like, wow, anybody can win this, but it's not, doesn't have the top names, which kind of always hinders my interest a little bit, to be honest. But Goff versus Mboko should be really interesting. I'm going to bet on Goff because it's hard to bet against her, but Mboko she's a real talent, man. Rybakina bagling Christian. Navarro's out to Yamstremska. It's always dangerous. Yeah, Kessler, always kind of an under-the-radar player, taking out Mira Andreeva, still kind of getting a lot of learning lessons this year, still very young. Bencic Muhova is fantastic. Keys McNally is great. Osaka Ostapenko. Full lineup tomorrow. Lise versus Swiatek is pretty good. Kalinskaya Svitolina. Kalinskaya coming off a Washington final last week. Anisimova Raducanu. That is popcorn all day when it comes to the lady side tomorrow. Jesus Christ. It's the first I'm reading. I didn't realize Raducanu and Nismova were going to play. On the men's side, pretty good matches too. Fokina, Menzik, Feast, Lahechka. Even Tiafo Vukic is kind of a sleeper. That's pretty good. Kaboli Marajan is kind of a sleeper. Nakashima Shelton is kind of a sleeper. Shelton's probably, I think, going to win, but Diallo Fritz is low-key a sleeper. Like, all of those are pretty good. I kind of think Rublev's going to beat Sonego, but Sonego also is like, nobody ever pays attention to him, and he usually does well. And then Rublev has been real up and down. So all of those are kind of sleepers, low-key, on the men's side. And on the women's side, it's hard not to call most of those just banger matchups. Like, these are great matches. On the women's side, particularly. Men's side, like, we'll see how tomorrow's day goes. But on the women's side, I'd be surprised if there's not a bunch of interesting matches going on. It's a pretty good lineup. Hasn't Nisimova played since Wimbledon? I don't think she has she? Pretty sure no, right? Yeah, this is her first event since Wimbledon, taking out Lulu Sun in her first round match. That should be interesting against Raducanu. That's a challenge. I'd say more than Lulu Sun, although Sun's a great player, but it's not like Raducanu this year has actually been more consistent than we've ever seen her since the US Open. So she's probably going to be seeded, or almost definitely going to be seeded for the US Open. She's playing well. 40 glove Popyrin. Getting his rhythm back on serve. Popyrin yet to lose a point on his first serve. Medvedev also has a good percentage, 69%, which is good. But or it's decent, but 100% so far. Popyrin yet to lose one. It could be here, right? Rally here. Forehand. Down the line, back into Medvedev. It's an announcer's jinx, I guess, because I think that was a first serve, so I think he just lost his first one. Yep. Okay, not quite 100% anymore after that point. $40-30. Things could slip away quickly before you know it here. So far, the winners to errors counts are not positive for either player. 4 winners, 12 unforced for Medvedev. 11 winners, 18 unforced for Popyrin. By the way, it's notable. Popyrin's hit 7 more winners than Medvedev. Big roar from Popyrin, 5-5. So that's something to say in this first set. Tied up at 5-5. 5 games apiece, all even. $41-minute first set so far. He has a walkover. Who withdrew? I didn't read about that. Or I didn't see that. Who withdrew against Team North? Trying to find it now. Forehand, Popyrin comes to net. Oh, what a volley. What a good pickup. Ooh, nearly a great move from Popyrin. Would have been love 30. Good moving anyway, 15 all. O'Connell. Oh, damn. Okay. O'Connell beat somebody good in the first round, no? He had a good win of some sort. POPYRIN just barely missing that forehand behind the baseline. Trying to come to net a lot, POPYRIN. I guess that's maybe partly a strategy for him, which I kind of like. Yeah, O'Connell, I forgot. O'Connell beat Tsitsipas. That's right. I didn't read about that withdrawal. That's unfortunate, honestly. I like O'Connell. Really fun to watch one-handed backhand. One of the better one-handed backhands, particularly from a lower tier player to this point in his career. Serve Medvedev. Big second serve. Bigger return. Clean winner. 40-30. Medvedev sort of, I feel like, mistiming that. At least I felt like should have been able to put a racket on it. Doesn't matter in the end. Backhand winner. Cross court. 6-5. Medvedev back in business big time. Hope the Canadian tennis player in Boko can achieve more. She's got a bright future. I don't know. Before I interviewed her at Wimbledon qualifying, when I was watching her match, I was like, man, she's got star potential. Like she's so good. Like she can. I have a good feeling about her. She seems like a bit of a special kind of player to me. So I'm definitely backing her. She's one of the young sort of players that have caught my eye. I was very glad I was able to get an interview with her as well. But before I interviewed her, I was like, man, at this point, not that many people have heard of her, but I have a feeling like I could look back at this interview and be like, wow, I interviewed Mboko. Like that's cool. And got a pretty early interview in her career. So we'll see what happens. But I kind of have a good feeling about her. Will be a really interesting match against Coco, whether she wins it or not. Like that's a great test for her and for Coco, to be fair, because I don't know. Coco probably doesn't want another doesn't want another test. She's been struggling her last 3 matches that she's played since her Roland Garros victory. Medvedev takes a huge serve right to the chest. Takes it like a man. Second serve, POPYRIN. Serve and volley, drop volley, backhand. Medvedev misses the backhand. That's just a shot he would make 100 out of 100 times, quite literally, back in the day. And now he's missing it. I mean, I think it's hard, right? I think it's hard, with Medvedev's, 6'6". When you're playing such a sort of defensive game style, it's kind of hard to keep that up as you go to a later age. Like it's still doable. Medvedev is not, he's not way up on the older age spectrum in the sport at this point at all. But I think of like a Michael Chang or somebody like it kind of becomes harder to play that game style as you get to 30, 31 and older. And especially when you kind of like 6'6", like Medvedev kind of thing. So he still had a fantastic career, obviously world number 1, slam champion, beaten all of the beaten Nadal and Djokovic. But I mean, in my mind, at least if he doesn't pick up at least 2 slams, then I will be a little bit, I guess I will have felt like he didn't quite fulfill like the enormous potential he had to at least win 2 slams, right? Like he would be a would be amazing to me that he only picked up one. Obviously met Nadal and Djokovic in, like all of his finals, almost all of his finals. So if he didn't, he probably would have had, 4 or 5 slams. Popyrin continuing to come to net, move forward, 30-15. Not always successful, but still I like to see it. I think it's a good tactic. Still looking for a tiebreaker here, Popyrin. Forehand. It's going to go wide. Couple loose shots. 30 all. When you're not in that winning rhythm, don't have that confidence, things get tough in this sport. The court feels suffocating. Popyrin needs a first serve here, you feel. Doesn't get it. Second serve. Double fault. 30-40 for Medvedev. Set point for DANIIL Medvedev. And what would be a big comeback in this set. He was down to break early. Medvedev with an important set point here to try to put a bow on this first set. Great first serve from Popyrin. Winner into the corner. Deuce. Clutch from the Australian Masters 1000 champion. Volley put away from Popyrin. We assume that Popyrin, that like 15 or 20 years in the future, people are going to look at who won the Masters 1000 titles in whatever year in the 2020s at the end of the Big Three era, at the start of Sinner Alcaraz era, and then they're going to stumble upon ALEXEI Popyrin. We assume that they're going to be like, Popyrin won a Masters 1000 and be a little bit confused. I think that a lot of people are going to look at this match as they dive into Popyrin's win there. They're like, how did he do defending the title? How did he do the year after that? So in that way, this is always going to probably be a pretty monumental match in Popyrin's career, no matter which way it goes. Trying to get to the tiebreaker here. Popyrin's already saved a set point. Good second serve, backhand, down the line. Medvedev kind of on a rope here. Now they're playing back and rally. Neither guy going after the ball. Forehand now from Popyrin. Medvedev getting a lot of shots that are landing right on the baseline. Backhand cross court. Goes to slice of Popyrin. Great slicing so far from Popyrin this match. Backhand cross court. Again, slice. Backhand Medvedev. Long rally. It's got to be 20 plus shots at least. Backhand slice. Backhand Medvedev cross court. Backhand down the line. Squash shot. Forehand down the line. Backhand Medvedev. Backhand volley. That's going to flow long. Very long rally. Don't know how many shots that was. I'll say 32 shots. I'll say 32. I have no idea how close I am. Just a guesstimate. 30. I was so close, dude. I said 32. It's 33. I almost said 33. But whatever. I was one away. I was so close, actually. I was counting. No, I'm just joking. I was counting, doing play-by-play. I was eating, multitasking. Deuce. I was close. I said 32. It's 33. Proud of that. Good serve from POPYRIN. Advantage to him. Great slicing ability from POPYRIN so far in this match, I have to say. Maybe it didn't work for him in that long rally, but in terms of he didn't win the point, but still. Good stuff. I think that could be a tough thing. I've always thought that some of the players that can slice and dice the ball can be tricky for Medvedev, as he has to really go down low to the ball. Another ball landing right on the baseline. I'm starting to feel bad for POPYRIN. Hits into the net. That's what he's complaining about to his coach. You kind of have to feel for him. 7.5 minute long game and counting. Slices in net play definitely becoming part of the strat, or definitely part of the game plan. Serve out wide, forehand slice up to the forehand of POPYRIN, backhand for a pass. Good net. Ooh, nearly good net coverage from POPYRIN, but just misses the volley. Gave Medvedev too big of an opening there. To me, Medvedev has one of the best passing shots we've seen of any player this century, bar none. And that is not. You don't want to give him an open space to hit into. To me, he definitely one of the best passing shots and one of the most versatile as well. Medvedev. Backhand, cross court, POPYRIN, volley. What a shot! What a couple of volleys back to back. Back to back volleys from POPYRIN. Very impressive under pressure. Cool as you like. Cool as an ice cube. Right off his heels for the first volley. That was even more impressive. Way more impressive. Second one, he just took his racket out. You have to control it, but that first volley, that would have been impressive on any point, but to do it on set point, just got to applaud. Good stuff. National Bank Open, third round. Both guys fighting hard to get this first set. Double fault from ALEXEI POPYRIN. Big delay between first and second serve because of a late let call from Leoni. Nonetheless, set point for Medvedev. Long game here, nearly 10 minutes. You'd have to think. Another set point for Medvedev. Very clutch in the last one, POPYRIN. Serve down the tee. POPYRIN a little bit out of position here. Medvedev down the line. That's going to be a winner. Big reaction from Medvedev. Bigger than you usually see from him in a positive way on the court. But he needed that. POPYRIN left too big of a space open. He likes that forehand inside out, but Medvedev's backhand down the line is solid, and you don't want to give him the space to hit into. Honestly, especially when he's like 500 feet behind the baseline. If Medvedev is 500 feet behind the baseline, he has an open space the court to hit into, you're screwed. Just so you know. 25 unforced errors for POPYRIN at the end of the day. He hit 12 more winners and 13 more unforced errors, if you want to understand the how the set went down. 17 winners, 25 unforced errors for ALEXEI POPYRIN. How are you doing, Jane? Need Medi to get his groove back. Exactly. I like Poppy too. Yeah, I like both, but I want to see Medvedev back to his usual, no doubt. How can we watch the match? Tennis Channel, Tennis TV, etc., etc. All right, I'll be back for the second set, guys. I'm going to step off for a second. I'll be right back. Yeah, good to see you as well. Glad to be calling it. I hope I have more opportunity to call matches in the near future with this tournament as well. But I think I should be able to, so it should be pretty fun. Left 15 here. ALEXEI POPYRIN, first game of the second set. Another longer rally, almost 20 shots. Backhand cross court goes to the back of Medvedev. Forehand POPYRIN. It's over. Forehand slice. Medvedev's going to be out. POPYRIN doing a push early. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a good night to call a match. I'm enjoying this one. Hour of play already. 1 hour on the match clock. Double fault from Medvedev. He played a fairly, I mean, it was a decent game at the start of the first set, but where he got broken. But the end of the game was really, he played 3 very bad points back to back. 2 of them were double faults. So you can't really play a point that's a double fault and be like, it's okay. Pretty much just like big negative reaction there from ALEXEI POPYRIN. Actually surprised he didn't get the code violation for audible obscenity, because to me it was very audible. Big forehand miss from POPYRIN, 30-40. Third break point. Backhand Medvedev. Chance for POPYRIN. Finds it. Big backhand down the line. You just had to feel. I just had a feeling about this match that POPYRIN's going to have more to say. It was a very close first set. Great return for POPYRIN that really got Medvedev out of position into awkward positioning on the court pretty much right away. Carried on through that rally. I'm used to seeing these big reactions from POPYRIN. We were seeing that last year. Obviously, the famous, honestly, kind of awesome extended grunt reaction that he had off that big forehand winner against Djokovic at the Open. He played phenomenal in that match. I don't care what anybody says. That was a phenomenal performance. People say stuff like Djokovic just played really bad, but listen, man, Popyrin played amazing, honestly. I remember thinking at one point during that match, I was like, he's playing like a world number one. And I don't know. Maybe I'll rewatch the match and kind of feel different. But I thought he played amazing in that match. It's in the zone. Which surprised me because I almost thought like it would kind of end at his run in Canada. But he was like, nah, wasn't really a fluke. Such an exception in Novak's slam catalog that lost to Alexei Popyrin. Other than that, he's just been going deep in like pretty much every slam, period. That's like the only slam in I don't know how long where he didn't make the, I don't know, quarters, semis, whatever. Back in Medvedev forehand volley. Wow, Popyrin nails an incredible volley. I don't know how he made that in. Just nails a perfect angle. Like he was the court was in debt to him. He was losing all of the points where balls were close to the line. So that was the court being like, okay, you can have this one. But like I think that Popyrin match, that win against Djokovic that Popyrin had at the U.S. Open, I think that's the only completed match where, wow, another crazy kind of shot, not up from. Medvedev sarcastically clapping to his coach very loudly, or somebody in his box saying, thank you, sarcastically to Medvedev, which is hilarious. I don't know if that was Shields. Shields has always had kind of a sarcastic banter back and forth with Medvedev. That's just hilarious. Oh, Medvedev nearly gets a neck cord that just barely dribbles over. I was going to say, though, Popyrin's win against Djokovic, the only completed match win where Djokovic lost at a slam before the quarterfinals since like 2018 French Open. I'm pretty sure that's right. That's the only one. Backhand cross court, backhand volley. Forehand miss from Medvedev. Popyrin playing a great level now. Medvedev is so weird. 2-0. Medvedev's weird, crazy reaction after he lost that point. Obviously upset with how he's playing, hitting some of these shots. I'm trying to read into this reaction what he even meant by that. What a character, what a guy. Missing forehands though now for real. Love 15. All right, thanks for joining in, Dutchy. I'll see you hopefully at one of the next streams as well. Hopefully we'll try to do a few more this week. Before I start college next month. So hopefully have a little bit of free time this week to do some streams. 15 all here. Serve back into Popyrin. Deep goes to the back of Medvedev. Forehand. Good attempt from Popyrin. Not quite getting the right height on the ball. Get over the net. 30-15 for Medvedev. Backhand slice, POPYRIN. Forehand to Medvedev, cross court. Good cross court from POPYRIN. Too good for Medvedev. Forehand down the line, very solid. Just a good shot in my book. POPYRIN didn't play a bad point. Impressive for Medvedev. Kind of have to say too good, as far as I'm concerned. Although potentially now, POPYRIN kind of feels will be a little bit less hesitant to, or more reluctant to go from a forehand cross court rally, keep going a forehand cross court rally with Medvedev and give him a chance to pull it down the line like that. I'm trying to figure out what POPYRIN's ranking would be if he loses this match. I think the live rankings haven't yet taken off the 1,000 points that he will lose a lot of potentially this week if he doesn't win the tournament. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm trying to figure this out. And I can't figure this out in my head, but basically he drops like to like 1,100 ATP points, essentially. Or maybe like 1,150 ATP points, something like that. Let's say 1,100. It's going to be slightly wrong, but like 1,100. So I think if POPYRIN loses, he'll be like somewhere like 48th or 49th in the world. Something along those lines. So I mean, he'll still be in the conversation, but yeah, that's a huge drop because he's been, hovering around like 20 in the world. That is a big drop going down to 50 in the world. 20 to 50 is big drop. Doesn't get that much bigger in the top 50 of the rankings. Love 15 here for Medi, trying to fight a break back early in the set. Was able to do it in the last set at 4-3. See if you can do it a little bit earlier here. Back in down the line, POPYRIN. A few times now, he's attempted to slide into a few forehands or backhands, particularly forehands, and just not able to really get enough height on the ball and really pick those balls up and push them over. And it's hard to do when he gets so low for a ball. It's interesting because sliding on hard courts is such a useful tool, but you don't want to overuse it or use it in the wrong times because it can also, it might be too big of a risk, and then also it can also be beneficial to just take those extra steps. Get a different look at hitting the ball. Love 40, POPYRIN with too many unforced errors, no doubt. Just too many unforced errors, loose balls. It's not going to cut it. Needs to cut those out of his game, and it just doesn't. You kind of don't have a good feeling about it. Too many unforced errors. Medvedev's got to start feeling pretty good about his chances if he can break back here. Another first serve missed from POPYRIN. POPYRIN looking like a pretty different player from where he was 1 year ago, unfortunately. Let's see if he can find his way out of trouble. Good first point. First break point in this game. Saved. 2 more to save. Another good serve. 30-40. Hope this match can go into 3 sets. Yeah, 100%. Definitely. I mean, we've seen some good shots from either side. It's just been a little bit up and down. Oh, that's a nervy volley. That overhead is put away. Deuce. 3 straight save for POPYRIN. Good stuff. Impressive. Still break up. The 21st winner of the match for POPYRIN. I mean, he's hit about probably nearing on 40 errors, but still. Big forehand for POPYRIN. It's another winner. Advantage ALEXEI. Forehand volley. Backhand volley now. Medvedev running. That's in the net. Good escape from POPYRIN. Knowing what's at stake. Picks up his level when he needs it. This might go 3 sets. What in the world is Medvedev doing, bro? Medvedev is crazy, bro. Medvedev just, I guess, purposely whipped the ball that was going way out. Then does this like he's searching for where the ball went. That's hilarious. Medvedev is crazy. Legit. That goes out for Medvedev 15 all. It's good to see Medvedev having fun though, you know? Because I'm assuming this year hasn't been the most fun for him. Gotta joke around every once in a while. Loosen up. He's so funny, dude. I kind of think Medvedev's the funniest player that we've ever seen on a tennis court. 30-15. Just the 4th ace for Medvedev. Backhand on lines, very good. 40-15. Serve DANIIL, backhand POPYRIN. Forehand cross court, forehand slice of POPYRIN. Comes in, inside out, backhand pass. POPYRIN goes big, just misses. 3-2. I feel like we're in for a good one. Match has been, not the most consistent, high quality from both. A lot of unforced errors and up and down serving performance, but we've still seen some good stuff from both, and I think this one could be pretty good. The second half of this match, I hope it is. It's got potential. The frustrating thing with POPYRIN is theoretically it should be really, really good. Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I understand what you mean. Like he's not been winning a whole lot of matches this year. Like sometimes he just looks fantastic. And on paper, he is a great, pretty complete player. So I totally understand what you mean. You're not wrong. Serve from POPYRIN. Oh, what a serve out wide. Big ace. 15 love. Serve from POPYRIN. Coming here. Backhand slice from POPYRIN in the net. 15 all. Forehand chip. Goes to the forehand of POPYRIN. Forehand Medvedev slice. Volley put away. I'm glad he didn't go back the other way. I would have been pissed. Too often I see players doing that. It's like, just go to the other side, okay? Like Medvedev would. I was glad that POPYRIN did that because I don't know why, but it feels like more often than not. Maybe those are just times I remember, but players completely giving up on the point, and the person at the net just decides to hit it right back to them for almost no reason. Give them a chance. Drop shot, very smart play. Long way to run for Medvedev. Actually, a good attempt, but smart shot from POPYRIN. Played that point like a super intelligent AI. That's exactly how they would have played the point. Because you can't play it any smarter than that. Understood the dimensions of the court well. That was the toughest shot for Medvedev there from that position. Great ace from POPYRIN. Starting to get some of the lines himself, POPYRIN. 4-2. Better stuff from POPYRIN here. It looks a little bit more loose as well. To be fair, this is a position where Medvedev clawed back from in the first set, but I just got the feeling POPYRIN might be able to pull out the second set. We'll see. Forehand, down the line, back into Medvedev. Backhand slice, POPYRIN. Good get. Pretty much back to neutral here. Backhand to backhand rally. Awkward rally. Backhand down the line. POPYRIN defending. Forehand. Cross court. Forehand. POPYRIN for a pass. Weird rally. I feel like both players could have played that rally better, but anyway, it's Medvedev who gets the finds his way on top. POPYRIN collects his shock absorber. Fell out of his racket. Medvedev just misses serve out wide. Backhand, POPYRIN gets a net core drop shot. Medvedev's in the net. 15 all. Popyrin 7 points away from the finish line this set. There's still work to be done. Good serve from Medvedev. Sets up an easy overhead. 30-15. Starting to serve better, but can he find his way on the return of serve? He'll need to. (40-15). Oh, what a return from Popyrin. Return the day. 40-30. Got on top of the ball and smash. 40-30. Have parlay the Medvedev wins first set, which I got in a money line Poppy to win the match. Hopefully, I can make this back. Very possible, to be honest. Good call with that first set. Medvedev misses the forehand down the line. Things are getting a bit sketchier for Medvedev. Deuce. Tight moments here in this one. Important moments. What can Popyrin do? Second serve. That was the pressure of that last return Popyrin hit on that side. Medi double faults. Succumbing to the pressure. Popyrin breaks here. We're going 3. Medi in classic Medi fashion, taking absolutely, quite literally no time between serves. Not literally, but might as well be. Backhand down the middle. Medvedev opposite a backhand. One of the few players that will run around a forehand, basically to a backhand. Backhand down the line. Forehand to Medvedev. Just over the net. Backhand. Again, just over the net. Popyrin sliding, defending. Forehand. Popyrin again defending. That's in the net. Frustration from Popyrin's side. Leone, apparently Popyrin upset with somebody in the crowd who made an out call. It's ridiculous. Should be kicked out of the stadium. Anybody who ever makes an out call loud enough the players can hear should genuinely be kicked out of the stadium, as far as I'm concerned. Advantage Medvedev here, especially on such a big point. Backhand return. Backhand. Terrible shot from Medvedev. Horrific shot from Medvedev. He knows it. I mean, that was game over. Should be 4-3. Walk to the other side. High ball. Medvedev just swings and misses right into the net. Forehand cross court. Forehand to Popyrin. Got to make Medvedev hit right after he blotched the volley. Very up and down level from both. Pretty nervy late night match, to be honest, from both sides. Both guys, I don't know. 4-3. Late night, but they can't be playing half asleep here. They got to bring the energy. We'll see what Medvedev does. If he can find another break at 4-3 down. Come on, crowd, exactly. It's so annoying. It's just so annoying. It's honestly really funny just to see how inconsistently rules are applied across tennis because there have been two occasions now in the match where Popyrin just very, at least to me, very audibly said the F word, and Leone just warned him without actually giving him a proper warning to not or a code violation to not. He didn't give him audible obscenity warning. But then there are other times where a player does much less than what Popyrin did, and he gets audible obscenity right away. It's like I don't even know if that should be a rule. I guess it should, just because of the players are being shown on TV, and they don't want obviously also kids come to the matches and stuff. So I guess it should be a rule. But if it's going to be a rule, then it needs to be consistently applied. To me, it's such a circus because it's so obviously like just apply the rules, man. I mean, I understand after that it was an unfortunate thing to happen to Popyrin, but I'm just, in general, it's like it's not consistently applied. And he said it very loudly earlier in the match, and nothing was said. It's like umpires are so picky and choosy. It's like it's so weird. It's like everything is left off to very like subjective judgment, and it just makes tennis kind of lose its credibility a little bit, which is really unfortunate. It's just funny to see. It's so weird. It's like I don't know. Anyway, that 15 love. Popyrin squash shot, forehand Medvedev down the line. Nearly a good pass from Popyrin. I like the idea. 15 all. I like the idea. Trying to wrong foot Medvedev. I like the idea. 7 points away from the set. 30-15. Good serve. Who do you have winning the tournament? Dude, I don't even know. I really did feel like Zverev probably has a decent chance of finally winning a Masters. Fritz has a great record against Zverev, and he's tough on the hard courts. He's got the confidence from the grass court season a little bit, so maybe him, but I really don't know. The men's side, I'm gonna say Zverev. I'm just gonna say Zverev, but I don't know. I kind of do think Zverev's gonna win it. I would like to see some kind of more unusual, out of the ordinary player win it, though. I think that would be nice to see. It would be nice to see like somebody like Menzik or somebody winning it, because that would be like adding a third player that's at least won like 2 big titles this year. It would be really nice. Like another young player winning one like that. Draper can't because he's injured, unfortunately. Backhand cross core. That's going to be out. Another break point for Medvedev. Deja vu to the first set if Medvedev breaks here. 100% deja vu. Let me know who you guys have win the tournament. Be great to see Medvedev too, by the way. If he could find a way to pull this tournament out, salvage a bit of confidence in his career. Good breakpoint save there from Popyrin. Finding his way to the net, causing too much pressure on Medvedev, who misses the lob. Deuce. Deuce, 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 deuce. Great serving. Advantage Popyrin. Medi is due for a title. I mean, seriously, man. Like Rome 2023 was his last one. We got to see Medi back at the peak of his powers. Like if I had like 2 wishes to the tennis gods, it would be like, let Dimitrov have a good run at a slam healthy. Number 1. I think that's anybody's wish, honestly, right now. Any tennis fan, period. Number 2, let Medvedev win another title. Okay. We just let Medvedev win another title. We want to see it. I want to see it. That's crazy to me that I've interviewed Medvedev now. Like I was at his press conference, and also I was just like in a small interview with him, and was interview room with him, was able to talk to him. Like that's so weird. Seriously. Still, I guess processing just the fact, like some of the opportunities I had at Wimbledon were very surreal and exciting. Ooh, what a shot from POPYRIN. Advantage Tim with a brilliant forehand winner. I'd catch how Poppy wins set. I see a lot of guys saying that about POPYRIN. Let's see. Few of you guys have bet on POPYRIN here for the set. 16th forehand winner of the match for POPYRIN. He's definitely going for it. Match is more on his racket than Medvedev's. No, there's no doubt about that. He's been trying to control these points, whether it's an error or a winner, but he's been trying to control these points. Double fault. Hasn't had that many of those, to be fair. POPYRIN just trying to avoid what happened in the first set. Because the problem with what happened in the first set is not only Medvedev was able to tie back up, like he was able to tie back up, then win the set. So if POPYRIN loses this game, he's going to get flashbacks of that. And that's not great. I mean, I say flashbacks of that as if it didn't happen 30 minutes ago. I'm pretty sure he probably remembers it, that still happened, but you know what I mean. He's like, I've seen the way the story plays out before. That's an important hold for POPYRIN. 5-3. We want to see a third set. I think I can speak for all of us when I say we want to see a third set. We want to see a third set. I'm glad you're streaming this since I'm not home able to watch this. Okay, nice. Glad to do it. Sweet, yeah. Happy to do it. $15 love Medvedev. First serve in the net, second serve. Double fault. POPYRIN 3 points away from the set. Medvedev looking a little bit weary out here, playing some scratchy tennis. It's funny, right? Right before he came on, I was watching this Zverev Arnaldi match. They just panned to Medvedev. I was gonna say backstage. It's not really backstage, but whatever you call it, like behind the scenes, waiting to come out, and he's just like laying down like on a table and just like, I don't know. It was so weird. Usually when they show players right before a match starts, they're like doing some exercise or hopping around trying to get hyped. Medvedev just like laying on a table for like 2 minutes straight. So I don't know what's up with him, but he's got to wake up. I don't know if that's really anything to pay attention to, but I did find it kind of weird and funny. Smash Medvedev, put away. 30 all. These points matter quite a lot. Medvedev has been around a minute. He knows if he locks in here, you never know. 5-4 game. Suddenly it could be 5-5. You don't want to just give up on this set because set's not over until you say that it's over yourself. And that's true. There's a quote I really like. It's actually my favorite quote. And it's I don't want to say this wrong. It's a Henry Ford quote, but it's something like whether or not you believe that you can do something or can't do something, you're right either way. So it's the belief that you can't do something. If you start believing you can't do something, you're not going to be able to do it. If you believe you can do something, I'm not saying you'll do it, but you can do it. It's a great quote. And it's true. Apparently the humidity is horrific. It's been warm in Canada all week. He's an octopus after all. Octopus Medi. It's not good forehand hitting from him here. Very loose. Advantage POPYRIN. Looking to put the set away right here, right now. Great ace from Medvedev. Salvages one set point. Saves one. Forehand Medvedev. Back into POPYRIN. Forehand cross court again to the forehand of Medvedev. Forehand rally. I say again to Medvedev like POPYRIN can hit a shot to somebody else. Forehand inside in. Forehand Medvedev. That's in the net. Advantage POPYRIN. Another set point for him. Zverev crushed Arnaldi earlier. Crushed him in the last two sets. If you can call that crushing. Let's forget the first set happened. It didn't happen. In the latter two sets, yeah. I've seen that happen with Arnaldi a few times now. It happened against Alcaraz at Indian Wells last year, I think. Arnaldi won the first set in the tiebreaker, and then Alcaraz ran away with the last two sets. Popper thought the serve was out. Requesting a video call. Layani is so loud, bro. Mohamed Layani is the loudest umpire of all time. He's like Layani is like the equivalent of John McEnroe as an umpire. Like he's like the loudest umpire. Like McEnroe is the loudest player, and Layani is the loudest umpire. He's so loud, bro. I always think of like Djokovic saying like Layani wants to be the star of the show, or like, why do you have to be the star of the show? I'm not saying whether or not I like that Djokovic said that or not, but it's just so funny. Layani is always like, you can't not know he's umpiring. Like he's so much louder than every other umpire. Another set point save from Medvedev. These are starting to pile up. That's what I'm talking about. These start to pile up, and if POPYRIN just can't find his way over the finish line of this set, that can start to dwell on him or dwell on anyone if it happens point after point, realistically. Forehand cross court, forehand POPYRIN, forehand of Medvedev. Timing on his forehand looks a little bit off, not going to lie. Forehand again, cross court, forehand of Medvedev, back in POPYRIN. Back into Medvedev down the line. What a shot. Oh, what a get from POPYRIN. That's on the line. Ridiculous. POPYRIN hustling side to side. Oh, Medvedev lets him back in, and POPYRIN misses it into the net. That was nearly going to be on screens everywhere, all over the world. What a hustle. I don't know what in the world Medvedev was thinking. POPYRIN should have gotten that last shot back in play. I don't know how POPYRIN got those two shots. That was not a good play from Medvedev. Gave POPYRIN a chance. Maybe he knew that was going to happen. He's like, I'm going to tire him out for the next game. I don't know. Forehand volley, Medvedev. I mean, by the skin of his teeth, but Medvedev pulls out that game, saves about 100 set points, and plays a couple of nervy points. But anyway, gets it done. 5-4 somehow. POPYRIN to serve for it. Next. It was hard to watch, I know. Geez, once upon a time, Medi service games were a breeze. I know. I saw Runa one. Did you watch Runa versus Muller? I watched some points here and there. Him and Steph both, yeah. Last set total? I don't know. It's hard to say. POPYRIN hasn't won this set yet, but I have a feeling it'll be really close. I would say like 12 games maybe could happen even. But more likely like 10 games. 6-4 is a pretty common third set score. But I think it'll be close. But don't stake a lot of money on something I say because I don't know what I'm talking about. Nobody knows what it's. If I'm making a prediction for a score line, like nobody knows how a match is gonna go. So I don't know any more than anybody else does in terms of how the match is gonna turn out. Let's see about the set first. If POPYRIN can finish it, I think he will, but be nice to see Shelton win this tournament, I guess. He seems like he's probably due to be a Masters 1000 champion. He seems like the kind of player that could pick up a first Masters 1000 title. I guess he's the highest ranked player that hasn't won one. Demonor would also be cool, but seems a little bit pretty much more far fetched. Although he did just win a title in Los Cabos, so there is that. Tiafo, doubt it, but I guess you never know. Did get to Cincy final last year, but I definitely don't think he's going to win this tournament. Forehand chip. That's going to go out. 15 love. Double fault for POPYRIN. Double fault starting to get a little bit more common for him. 3 points away from the set. He's already had numerous set points. I think 4, but at least 3. Somewhere 3 to 5. I didn't count exactly. Backhand, good volley. Smart. He's been controlling the court pretty well, POPYRIN. He's had some success at the net as well. So, and just some success setting the pace in these rallies and hitting good depth. And he stuck to a game plan. He served pretty well for the most part. And at times playing some smart points, going behind Medi at times. But yeah, it's been a lot of good, but kind of a lot of not so good. So it's been a bit mixed bag, but he's still 2 points away from the second set. For the most part, good. Backhand the net, 30 all. Let's lock in Poppy. Okay, nice. My buddy said Runa won it easily, but I haven't looked at the scores for that match. Runa won it pretty easily, yeah. Important point here, no doubt. This will also test the nerves and mental strength of POPYRIN in general, and also just obviously facing, not having a whole lot of confidence from this season so far and the importance of this moment for him. Volley, backhand pass miss from Medvedev, yet another set point. Now seeing how many he has had, I kind of It's going to say set point number 5, but let's see here. If it says it, I hope it does. Set point number 4. Okay, so he's had 3. Says this is his 4th. Looking for a big serve. Doesn't get it. At some point, you might just want to block the scoreboard out of your mind and just play the point more, less than the score. Play the point more than the score. Drop shot. POPYRIN runs. Opportunity. Puts it away. Third set. Here we come. We're going 3 in Toronto. The defending champion against a former champion. Two former champions going at it. And one of them is the defending champ. And one of them is a former world number 1. Third set blockbuster incoming. Grab your popcorn. And if you're allergic to popcorn, just keep watching. It doesn't matter. Cash out was at 30 until Medvedev came back. Now it's, come on, popcorn. Yep. Third set, Medvedev's walking off court. Should be a good third set. Let's see. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of a break here as well, but I'll be back for the third set. Don't go anywhere. All right, here we go. We are back. Forehand Medvedev is going to go out the 15. That will be an important one in this tournament, particularly a pretty important one to clear Alexei Popyrin. But Medvedev doesn't really want to lose this match very much either. You can tell from the reaction after the first set. Two former champions. We know why this would be an important match not to lose for Medvedev. Like Sunshine Double is one thing, but this is essentially the first hard court Masters of the year for Medvedev, where he's just like generally just like always had success. His overhead has been Djokovic level today. It is not working. Djokovic catching strays. Love 40. Popyrin with 3 break points right away. Sluggish start for Medvedev. Backhand, cross score. That's an opportunity which is not taken. Popyrin misses the pass. 15-40. A little bit late on that backhand. He had an opening. He knows it. Yeah, it's an ace for Medvedev. 30-40. When you have a chance, you got to take it. Just you kind of feel the nerves from both players a little bit. Net cord from Medvedev goes back on his side. 1-0 Popyrin. Early break already for Popyrin. Medvedev just looks like he doesn't want to be out there, to be honest. Losing or winning, Medvedev definitely brings entertainment to the court. There's that. 6 aces, Medvedev, 7 double faults. More double faults than aces for both. This is good. These are good stats. I mean, that's not great, but it's not. Yeah, it's not great, but it's fine. Fine. This is great. He's only lost 8 points on first serve. He better hope he makes the first serve because second serve points one is not high at all. 7 for 9 is pretty good. Medvedev said, "There's no way I'm winning this match," which got some laughs from the crowd. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. It's hilarious. He either said losing or winning, but I'm pretty sure he said winning, which is so much funnier. Yeah, he just says very loudly, "There's no way I'm winning this match." I think that's a reaction to the fact that he's just barely missing like just standard normal forehands for him, which is he's not used to doing. Like that was after he hit a forehand that missed the line by like a millimeter. So I kind of get where he's coming from. It's funny because it's not obvious he is going to lose this match. But that's not great, you know, if you think there's no way you're going to win the match. Medvedev is such a character. He looks tired, to be honest, which I kind of don't blame him. It is a late night in Toronto. But, you know, Djokovic won a match at 37 years old at 3 a.m. against Musetti at the French. So that was 5 sets. So that kind of makes everybody feel like they got to step up. Medvedev misses that back in return by about a mile. 40-15. This would be a huge win for POPYRIN, man. This would be a huge win for POPYRIN. And I'm not going to pretend like Medvedev is, world number one anymore, but like he once was. But just in general, this is a match where he was not favorited, and this is the most important tournament for him to get a win like this. He hasn't really gotten a win like this all year, I feel like. Let's go. Come on, Poppy. Okay, Poppy. Yep. Medvedev really looks like he doesn't even want to be on court. He's got to lock in. He's got to lock in, bro. Winner of this one, by the way, has Holger Rune in the next round. That's a pretty winnable match as well, to be honest. Very winnable. I mean, Rune's good, but he's not been the most reliable player. Let's not lie to ourselves. Like, that's winnable for ALEXEI as well. Head-to-head is 1-0 for Rune, but their one match they played was very close, and that's in Rome, where Rune's had pretty good success 2 years ago as well, really before POPYRIN found his best form. So, listen, man, I don't know. Not been the greatest match from either of these guys, but still, I mean, POPYRIN's shown some things to be excited about. And this would be his most tense match, I would think. Already he's going to get a lot more points for winning this match than if he lost in this round, which also already loosens some tension. Forehand, slice, forehand, drop shot. POPYRIN runs. Lob. POPYRIN's going to be there too. Completely shanks the next ball, but he's giving it his all. Medvedev putting the Australian on a string there. He should have went for a tweener. That was a perfect opportunity to go for a tweener. Not for a tweener winner, but hit a tweener and then set up for the next shot. And then if John McEnroe was watching, he'd be like, oh my God, he went between the legs. Well, he's just trying to electrify the crowd. I hate it when people say shit like that. When people say stuff like that. It's like, you want to sometimes the between the leg shot is the best shot. I feel like it was there. He was in an awkward position to run around and take more time to hit a forehand. The good thing about between the leg shots, you don't need to put the extra effort to turn your body around. You don't need to take that amount of time to do that. Like, there are good reasons that between the legs can work better sometimes. Takes skills, but can be the right shot if you can pull it off. Most pros can. Forehand, that's going to be out 2-1. This is a huge match for both guys. I agree. That's why I was excited to commentate. It really is. That's why tension has been so high, I think. And yeah, whoever wins it, I think will have a pretty decent chance against Rune. And Rune, I mean, he got through Alexander Muller, but like Alexander Muller is a guy who just lost like 6-0, 6-1 last week to Mute. So I'm just like kind of like, okay. Medvedev and Rune have only played 4 times against each other. I kind of feel like that's not a lot for who they like. Medvedev and Rune, you know, that feels like it should be a head-to-head where they've played at least like 6, 7, 8 times. They've only played twice since 2023. Both times at Indian Wells. Split those meetings. Same exact scoreline, which is unusual. Actually, so many of their matches have had a very similar scoreline. Their last 3 matches, 7-5, 7-5, 7-5, 6-4, 7-5, 6-4. Strange. First match, 6-3, 6-4. Anyway, last 3 matches have had very similar scorelines. But anyway, my point is, whoever wins that match should have a decent chance in that one. After that, it gets tougher. After that, you get Zverev. But listen, that's a decent shot to make a quarterfinals potentially. Runa's not nothing. Like he's good, man. But on an outdoor hard court, you like your chances, Although he's Zverev against Francisco Cerundolo, you never know. Francisco Cerundolo is kind of low key dangerous against top guys. He kind of picks up his level. He's one of those guys like a Nicolas Jarry, but probably even a little bit better than Jarry. It's not been informed though, but you never know. You can pick it up. I do think he's more than just a clay court player. I will say that. But if he's going to beat Zverev, I don't know. His form has not been there. Forehand from POPYRIN to the open court. 30 love. Thank you for the stream and updates. Hey, no problem. Thank you for watching Freeway. $30 love. Here for POPYRIN. Up a break. Serve out wide. 40 love. I like streaming because back before I started streaming, I would always watch Cam Williams. Shout out Cam Williams. And it always felt nice to just like have somebody to watch the match with. So hopefully that's something I provide aside from just, hopefully like insight as well. And I hope in some ways with like play-by-play commentary, I can enhance the, watching a match. But yeah, just to be here, somebody to talk to about tennis. That's what I aim for. I am someone also watching the match. So there is that. Don't really have to aim for much. POPYRIN in the lead. Back in goes the forehand of Medvedev. Back in slice. Back in now up high forehand Medvedev. I mean, he's just completely not able to attack on the forehand side. Like his forehand is not there, Medvedev. Like his timing has been off on that forehand wing today. Forehand inside out, back into Medvedev, defending. POPYRIN just misses the forehand inside out. He had an opening there. I'm not sure the opening was inside out, but he had an opening there to start taking control of the point. And I kind of think he shouldn't have went so low percentage. He's keeping the positive body language up, which I like. 15-all. Big ace down the tee. Too good. 30-15. Shout out 10 stock, 100%. 40-15. Yeah, 10 stock the OG. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Cam and his channel. As in like streaming. I would be here. I wouldn't be streaming. 3-2. Medvedev holds. POPYRIN still up a break. If POPYRIN like somehow gets to the semis and beats Zverev, like all hell would break loose. Like that would be like confirming like this is a legacy thing. Like it's just part of POPYRIN's legacy after that. Like he just plays amazing in Canada for whatever reason. It has to be said that that these are different courts from the courts that he played on last year, because this is Toronto, not Montreal. But he's still playing a pretty high level. It's been pretty up and down. Some help from Medvedev as well, but some stuff to be excited about. How you doing, Navdeep? All right, 3-2. Serve here for the Aussie. Trying to keep up his momentum. Gotten the lead from the first game of the set. Good point. Smart shots from POPYRIN, taking control of the court. His tennis IQ can be pretty high at times. Quick thinking out there on the court. That first volley set that up. He's had a game plan. He stuck to it. Just kind of fearlessly approaching the net, slicing. Lob. Great lob from POPYRIN. It's going to be out, though, off the next shot. 15 all. Just been a bit of a nervy mixed bag from both this match. I mean, like both guys have shown some stuff to be excited by, particularly POPYRIN, but it's been a bit of a mixed bag. But I come away, my feeling right now is POPYRIN has the more exciting mixed bag of the two. But does Medvedev have more confidence, per se, and more experience to get over the line? We'll see. And does POPYRIN have more motivation? I tend to think Medvedev has the motivation as well. Second serve here for POPYRIN actually could be an important point. Backhand, Medvedev goes to the backhand slice. Chop through the court, close long, 15-30. Already have a chance here for Medvedev. Already half of a chance. This does have the feeling of a match that goes the distance. We'll see if we get there. Medvedev needs to find a way to break back. It will help if POPYRIN keeps missing first serves. The gap between the amount of points he wins off first serve and second serve is massive. Here's another second serve. Kicked. Backhand. Return. Medvedev's a good one. It's good forehand inside out from POPYRIN, neutralizing. Backhand goes long. Goes wide. Shanked. 15-40. Miss hit from POPYRIN. And are we going to have another version of the first set where POPYRIN gives away the break that he has? 2 points to fend off here. Or is it going to be like the second set where Medvedev has a bunch of break points, but POPYRIN's able to get out of trouble? Because he had a love 40 game there, POPYRIN, where he fended off a lot of break points there against Medvedev in the second. Backhand. Oh, what a shot from POPYRIN. That's exquisite. Excellent shot. Potentially the shot of the match so far. Terrific pickup there off the forehand side. His 20th forehand winner. Pretty much a half volley, but he hits over it. Plays a brilliant shot that goes past Medvedev, even though it was a good return. Backhand, that hits the net. Big roar from POPYRIN. Important shot there at 15-40, to say the least. Clutch forehand for real. Serve out wide, forehand chipped. Backhand, Medvedev pass, that's in the net. Just a lot of shots. It's the inconsistency from Medvedev. Just a lot of shots that you wouldn't see him missing back in the day. Looked to me there like Medvedev was complaining about the court. But wasn't able to hear his exact words. POPYRIN just misses the line on the serve. So POPYRIN, yep. How many chances Medvedev will waste? Bobby wins this. I got 223 pitted, and he probably lucky and finish this. Win 3 sets or 2. Whoever wins, it's going to be 3 sets. POPYRIN holds. He was down 2 break points. That forehand was clutch. Clutch time for the Aussie. Defending champion, which is crazy, but defending champion deserves that nonetheless. He is 2 games away from the victory. Not 2 points. He was 2 games away from the win. Forehand, back in Medvedev. Comes in, back in the net from POPYRIN. 15 love. Medvedev just needs to keep doing what he's doing, I guess. He had chances there. Back in cross court. Medvedev. Forehand, inside in. Down the outside line and misses it. Just a lot of negative body language from Medvedev throughout this encounter, right from the start. 15 all. Big ace from Medvedev down the tee, though. It's right back on track. 30-15. Kick serve, back in POPYRIN. Forehand to Medvedev, back in POPYRIN. Forehand to Medvedev, cross court, forehand to POPYRIN. Oh, what a get on defense. Another good one, but it's a volley put away. Medvedev comes to the rescue, 40-15. Trying to at least stay close here. Give himself chances. Just the second volley winner of the match for Medvedev. Serve catches the line for Medvedev, 4-3. Gets a hold there. Clearly frustrated Medvedev, but he's got to push through it. Medvedev's lost for his own sight. Yeah. His mentality, right? Like he's got 3 sets. Okay, thank you, bro. Yeah. No, it's got to be 3 sets. Late night in Toronto. One of the more unique things that happens on the tennis tour, I guess, is the switch of Montreal and Toronto. But it's kind of cool. I always dig it. It's almost 1 a.m. in Toronto. But I kind of like the switch. Keeps things dynamic, interesting. I like that the women play whatever the men aren't playing between Toronto and Montreal. Well, 15. Medvedev gets the first point on the board. POPYRIN going for something interesting, but you don't really want to miss a +1 when you're in control. That's what happened there. Let's see what happens. Well, 15. Forehand is a big one cross court. Good play from POPYRIN. 15-all. 7 points away from the win. ALEXEI POPYRIN be a big win. To face Holger Rune in the round of 16. And, you know, I like POPYRIN's chances there. Quarterfinals defending a title, you know, that's not... I think POPYRIN would take that. He has to get through Rune first, and he definitely has to get through Medvedev first. So, let's see. Catches the line, POPYRIN. Forehand. Inside out, back in Medvedev. Cross court, back in slice, POPYRIN. Good depth. Backhand. Tricky play from POPYRIN. Getting good depth out of nowhere from tough position, slicing. Just scrapping and finding ways to make life tricky for Medvedev. Medvedev talking to the crowd saying last 5 matches POPYRIN played, he never played a point like this. It's been a running theme for Medvedev, though. He's been saying that about a lot of opponents, that they bring his best tennis, their best tennis for him. But Medvedev's got to think, like, this guy won this tournament last year. Like, you know what I mean? Not in Toronto, different courts, but still. I don't know. He peaked this time last year. Backhand cross court. Back into Medvedev. Is going to go out 40-15. Please do not forget to subscribe, by the way, if you are new and not subscribed. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel for more live streams and podcasts. You won't regret it if you're a tennis fan. I do not think. And don't forget to like the video as well, would be appreciated. You could hit that thumbs up. 5-3. POPYRIN 1 game away from the win. And Zhao Rafael. $30 love for Medvedev. Looking like it could be a 6-4 set if POPYRIN finishes off the deal. Two and a half hours, similar to Zverev's match, but Medvedev might not get the same result. Let's see. Quick service game here. It's going to all come down to that 5-4 service game. Medvedev did have a couple break points a few games ago, but we'll see. It's going to be tough. It's going to be interesting. POPYRIN looking to get some first serves on the court. I want to look at the stats again before we play the big game. So it'd be a huge win for POPYRIN because really he hasn't had a whole lot of wins like this. So to do it when it quite literally matters the most for him. He's also defending a few points at the U.S. Open, but especially here, he's defending points. He's not defending 1,000 points at the U.S. Open. That's for sure. I mean, yeah, in general, he's just not been winning very much this year. He beat Casper Ruud in Monte Carlo. That was a big win. Beat Tiafoe there as well, but Casper Ruud was the big win there. in the French Open, gets to the 4th round. It's also pretty good. On grass, just really doesn't have the success that he's looking for. And then he comes here, and he's just he got lucky with his first round, in my opinion. Plays this guy named Arsenal, who I really hadn't heard of before this week, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, that one win against Casper and Monte Carlo is really his only big win this year until this, if he gets over the hump. So this would be monumental. 1 game away, ALEXEI POPYRIN. Aussie serving for the match. 4 good points. And he'll definitely be smiling tonight. Forehand down the line, backhand slice. POPYRIN to the back into Medvedev. Backhand slice, defending. Forehand volley, it's in the net. It's just really rusty stuff from Medvedev. You just can't put it together. Medvedev very much not in form at the moment. I mean, there's no way around it. It's just not been in form. Big serve out wide, and it's going to give him confidence too, POPYRIN. That's a shift of momentum. He makes the volley, suddenly things get dicey, but from POPYRIN, like, man, if I can win a point from that position where it seems like Medvedev absolutely has the point won, like, I should be able to win most of these points. It's going to give him confidence and loosen up some of those nerves playing against DANIIL. Some of the tough things that he does offer, as both these guys give their absolute all to, make it as tough as possible for their opponent. And if Medi can't make a volley like that, then it's just really going to not be so tough for ALEXEI. 40 love, 3 match points. Continue Medi's tough time and for a huge win for POPYRIN. Backhand. Down the line. That's a big win for ALEXEI POPYRIN. Defending his title in Canada on the courts of Toronto. He won in Montreal this time last year, but gets it done in Toronto at 12:45 at night. He's got Holger Rune next, looking for a spot in the quarters. He's in the round of 16. That's a good run for him. Needed that one. 6-4 in the third. POPYRIN holds to love. And Medvedev still not looking like Medvedev. That's all I'm going to say about that. Thank you guys for joining in. POPYRIN stuck to a game plan, and it succeeded. So, good stuff there. GG. Medvedev is done. He's not playing well. Gotta agree, he's not playing well. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for joining in. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out if you have not subscribed, so you can catch more content. Ring that notification bell. Don't forget to like the video as well. I would appreciate it. And yeah, ALEXEI POPYRIN, good win for him. Like I was saying earlier, a bit of a mixed bag from both players. It wasn't perfect. POPYRIN writes, "I like Canada" on the thing that for whatever reason started happening where players write in Sharpie on the camera. Yeah, 37 winners, 47 unforced errors. But for Medvedev, 43 unforced errors to 20 winners, which is 17 less than POPYRIN, which that would be okay to hit less winners. But if you hit the same amount of unforced errors, then it's not okay. That's not a match you're going to win. So yeah, that's what there is about that. I mean, fairly close match in most regards, but Medvedev plays a really loose game, the first game of the third set, and POPYRIN played an absolutely crucial, pretty much forehand half volley at 15:40 at 4-3 up in the, I think it was 4-3, maybe 3-2, but I think 4-3. And that was the most important shot of the match. It was probably also the best shot of the match, as far as I'm concerned. So that was clutch, and that's what he needed. All right, thank you guys for joining in. And yeah, tune in for more streams. I'll hopefully stream a few more times this week. I'll see you guys at the next one. ALEXEI POPYRIN gets through to the final 16 as he tries to defend his title in Canada. See you guys at the next one.